up on Sunday morning, round 8 of the World Superbikes Championship from Austria. Catch Britain's Carl Fogarty as he attempts to regain the top spot. That's 10:30 Sunday morning on Sky Sports 1. Right now it's a glorious Saturday evening on Sky Sports 1 as Sheffield Eagles prepare to do battle with the Bradford Bulls in Super League. And Bradford need just a point and they will be crowned as the kings of 1997. And there is the dressing room. Matthew Elliott, I can tell you, their coach has left them. He's made his way over to the dugout here on this side of the field. All the pre-match preparation then is done and dusted. Now it's in the hands of the players, who will be roared on by this massive crowd who have travelled down the M1 to be here to see them make history. 1997, the champions-elect of the Super League to take over the mantle of St Helens. And out they come. Bradford Bulls. They need only a draw to claim their first league title in 16 years. Since 1981, the second of back-to-back titles under the coaching of Peter Fox. They arrive at Don Valley looking for their 20th Super League win on the trot, including their win in the final game of 1996. There is no more attack-minded team in the Northern Hemisphere. 18 games won, yet to taste defeat. 627 points, and their defence is bettered only by the London Broncos. Over 100 tries scored. Their top tackler is James Lowes, the hooker, and Brian McDermott, their prop forward. There he is, going through the screen now. He's the man who is the top metre gainer. And Matthew Elliott, their coach, one of the coolest customers in Super League normally, but I think you can tell that the occasion is getting to him as well. And here they come. John Keir's Sheffield Eagles. Their last 4 games against St Helens, London, Perth and Wigan at Don Valley. They've won 3. Only the Broncos have lowered their colours. And they have won 7 in Super League, lost 11. They could do with just a couple of points to feel absolutely safe. But they have beaten the Bulls here for the last 2 seasons. Only half as many tries scored as Bradford, and defence has been a problem. They've conceded more than relegation-haunted Castleford, coach John Keir's former team. Well, the Bullman is here, and he believes that they're going to be number 1. He follows them throughout the Super League, wherever they play, home or away. And the match referee is Steve Ganson. Probably fair to say that Steve Ganson, in his first season in the Super League, this has got to be the biggest game that he has ever controlled as well. So much riding on this. And Graham Bradley, the main man, he's suffered heartache though on both sides of the world. 3 losing Wembley finals, also a grand final defeat with St George in Australia. Is this though going to be his moment? Bradford Bulls then, in the shape of Steve McNamara, get this eagerly awaited match underway, and Paul Broadbent, the Sheffield Eagles captain, runs the ball back at them. The Eagles then have the first use of the football.
Pretty hot conditions out there. It's important that people secure the football. It'll be a bit sweaty out there.
That's Marcus Vasilakopoulos. Aston was the dummy half, and that's now Thompson, Alex Thompson, and coach John Keir says he's carrying an injury into this match, is unlikely to last more than half an hour. He'll have to do a lot of work in that opening half hour then. Aston hoists a high kick. Underneath it is Stuart Spruce. He claims it, and Bradford now have the football themselves. James Lowes, by the way, is coming off the field with blood coming from the left eyebrow. He's in the blood bin, and now the Eagles are caught all offside.
Over enthusiastic there, the Eagles moving off the mark, just in front of the referee Steve Ganson. And in about 4 or 5 to select from there, but it was a good take by the fullback Stuart Spruce. Just as that man was leaving the football field, he'll be going round to the doctor to have stitches inserted into that left eye. This is a clash, and you can see that He bounced against one of his players. It looked like Jeremy Donoghue.
It is, because Jeremy Donoghue's coming off as well, Steve-O. He also has got blood coming from a head wound. So that's Donoghue and Lowe's off. They're both going to have to be patched up and then pushed back onto the field of play. So it's not the greatest start for the Bradford Bulls, but this is better from Graham Bradley. He gets them to the halfway line. Thompson in with the tackle.
Good run by the big standoff. He really has been a revelation for the Bulls this season.
Mike Forshaw now for Bradford, one of the men on because of the blood bin changes. Tomlinson's come on for Lowe's, and Forshaw obviously has come on for Jeremy Donoghue. Tomlinson at dummy half. This now is Brian McDermott. He tries to drive a hole through the Sheffield Eagles defence. Tomlinson dummy half again. McNamara. That was a great tackle coming in on that occasion from Keith Senior, playing in the second row tonight.
Nice little kick through there by Glenn Tomlinson, but was well watched by the cover defence. Really is nervous times for both these sets of forwards especially. They'll be expected to do most of the work in the opening 10 minutes.
Well, they will, and there's such expectation flowing onto this pitch from the terraces. Sheffield Eagles really have absolutely nothing to lose here. And John Keir promised us it would be maybe a little bit like this. Aston gets the kick in. Good kick too. He finds touch on that far side.
The experience showing there from Mark Aston. He's a man that can lead the way. Beautiful kick into open space. Could see that the two wingers were well forward in defence. He really is the architect of this Sheffield Eagles side. And as I mentioned before the kick-off, the Eagles really do want a very good start. They want to apply the pressure to this Bradford Bulls outfit.
And I think the Eagles have got the ball. No, they haven't. They've conceded the penalty. Nick Pinkney thought that he'd come up with the football, courtesy of the pass to him from Jason Erber.
You could see that it was being ripped out from McNamara's grasp. Two in the tackle. Well spotted by Steve Ganson. A lot of pressure for the referee also. Big crowd.
Bradley stepping off the right foot, hauled down by Rod Doyle and also Aston. And Aston doesn't get out of the way, so referee Steve Ganson penalises him.
Well, he's certainly telling everybody what he wants is the referee. The official said, get away. And you could see there that Aston was all over Bradley. Bradley eager to get on with it. And I must say, Bradley does have a tendency to go for the Oscars from time to time.
So here's Wittenberg with the drive into the 20-metre zone and making good progress, getting to within 10 metres of the line. Tomlinson is the man at dummy half. That is McNamara. He pops the ball up for McDermott to drive it in towards the posts. McDermott is halted by a three-man defensive wall. Tomlinson again. Robbie Paul. Paul went for Nicol. That bounced off.
They'll play the first knock on. Well, they did the run around and the switch back to the blind side. They were expecting the big second row of Sonny Nicol, but it came off his shoulders.
He's given the forward pass against Bradford, and that's why it's head and feed to Sheffield Eagles.
Well, the Bulls bringing out the moves early in this match. Little simple run around, switch of play, but Sonny Nicol just overrun it.
So that now is Fete Taiwa. Try against Perth in the World Club Championship in Australia for the New Zealand international.
Pretty strong defence there from the Bulls. They're moving up quickly. And you can see how the first and second markers are working hard.
Now Sovatabua to the 40-metre line before Graham Bradley collared him. Vasilikopoulos was the dummy half. Aston again. Another good kick downfield from Mark Aston. And the ball finds touch just a couple of metres from the corner flag.
Idea was good. Just got the wrong bounce in the end. You could see it just take a break to the right-hand side. But I must say, Bradford were pretty slow to close that man down. It's Robbie Paul's job to make sure that Aston does not get into the comfort zone and get sort of the kicks like that we've seen. Just an unlucky bounce, wasted that.
Now Mark Aston coming into this match needing just 6 points for a career total of 2,000. Tremendous servant to this Sheffield Eagles club in his second spell here. Robbie Paul now. Robbie Paul looked back to his best against Leeds last week when he ran in 2 tries. Here now is McDermott.
Good work again by the second rower, Danny McAllister. 2 tackles on the trot. So it shows you the Eagles are up for this as well.
This is McNamara. McNamara to Nicol. Sonny Nicol, of course, one of the players who left St Helens in the Paul Newlove deal and consequently missed out on the championship at Nosey Road last year. McNamara, whose former club Hull, of course, will be in Super League. They are First Division champions. What a double it would be for him if Bradford picked up the Super League crown tonight. This is Sovatabua now, the big Fijian fullback for Sheffield Eagles. Tackled though by Ikoku. Vasilakopoulos was the dummy half, and he got the ball away again to Taiwa.
Well, he was involved in the tackle there with Sonny Nicol, but he really has a problem with his leg. He's still trying to run it out, but he's picked up an injury there. Things not going right for the Bulls so far.
Danny McAllister, that's Sonny Nicol, pulled off 5 tackles. I think in one of them he's obviously got a problem with a leg injury. Another kick to the corner. That's the Sheffield tactics by the looks of things. That one from David Maiko.
Good work on that occasion from Robbie Paul. He applied the pressure to Mark Aston, who had to offload to the standoff David Maiko. It's a good kick. You can see Maiko there urging his players on. Well, not a bad opening for them.
Well, John Keir said, don't expect us to lay down and die for Bradford Bulls and their title hopes. They are the most erratic team in Super League, though, capable of moments of inspired form, and also they can plumb the depths. They really are the Jekyll and Hyde club of this Super League. Now Danny Peacock tried to force the pass out wide to Ikoku. Peacock, by the looks of things, has picked up a bang on the shoulder.
Oh, great defence there. They really did get into it. Nick Pinkney and Taiwa involved, and they're forcing the pass when they really don't need to. We mentioned before the match that Bradford, their coach Matthew Elliott, would tell them to make sure they go through their full complement of 6, work them out. They work on full power to the Bulls, and trying to force a pass like that early in the tackle count is not to their advantage.
The longer it stays at 0-0, of course, the greater the confidence of this Sheffield Eagles side. There is John Keir, the Sheffield coach, watching from on high here at Don Valley. This now is Sovatabua, almost ran straight through Robbie Paul. Nicol in there quickly, along with Glenn Tomlinson to bring him down.
Well, the Eagles will be without their playmaker, Martin Wood, today, but they've still got the skills of Mark Aston out there and the skill out wide of Nick Pinkney.
That was a good drive in by Paul Broadbent, their captain. Vasilakopoulos, the dummy half. This is Rod Doyle, and they're certainly not overawed by this occasion, the Sheffield Eagles. Not on the evidence of the opening 10 minutes here. They're examining the Bulls defence now. Aston, and he gets the pass away there to McAllister. McAllister head down and charges at the Bulls defence.
Surely a kick from Mark Aston now. Will it be the grubber?
It's with Aston. He dabs it through, looking for the runner out wide, and the defence stands firm. That's John Scales underneath that. The winger came back and did the job.
Read it so well there, Jonathan Scales. Knew that the kick was coming from Aston. It was a good one too. It just took a ricochet off one of the Bradford Bulls' foot. Just took a lot of pace of it. Made it quite easy for Jonathan Scales in the end, and he did well to get back into the field of play.
Mike Forshaw driving it in. Good tackle from Vasilakopoulos. The Bulls playing with this really strong sunlight into their faces. It's terribly warm out there, and fitness at the end of the day will prove absolutely crucial, and there isn't a fitter team in Super League than the Bradford Bulls. This is Graham Bradley. Bounces off one tackle, tries to get the pass away again, it goes to ground. Aston picks up the pieces for the Eagles.
Well, a chance has gone begging yet again. Glenn Tomlinson really should have taken that. It was great work there by the big standoff Graham Bradley. Went through the 2 would-be tacklers, offloaded. They've got to take their chances.
Here come the Eagles again with Fetu Taiwa, the six-cap New Zealand international. Good tackle by Robbie Paul. Vasilakopoulos at dummy half. Aston, who spins the ball into the arms of Maiko. Maiko then looks for the runner. It's McAllister, and he's grounded on the 20-metre line.
Just lost his footing there to the big second rower, McAllister. It's a good move back on the inside.
This is Rob Doyle now. Senior with the call and is inside. And Senior almost through. Good tackle by Danny Peacock.
It had to be as well.
Aston, he'll float the kick over to the far side. It's on the in-goal area, but well claimed by John Scales, who's being pushed and shoved back by the Eagles' defence. And Bulls, Graham Bradley and company forcing him back into the field of play.
Well, Sheffield obviously feel that Jonathan Scales is a problem with a high kick handling, but he did it well on that occasion. That's the second time they've gone for his corner.
And he was right on the fringe of the in-goal area. That's why there was the big push on from both sides. All the pressure now, though, wasted. Wittenberg is impeded as he tried to get up and play that ball. Penalty to Bradford.
I think it was Vasilakopoulos that just had a hand to him on Wittenberg.
Keep the play the ball clear.
Really, that is a bad mistake. It was Senior also there. It was Senior that was the culprit. My mistake to the hooker, Vasilakopoulos. Well, 12.5 minutes gone. They'll be pretty pleased with this, will the Sheffield Eagle fans, and I'm sure the coach, John Keir. As Eddie mentioned, they have not come along with the candles for the celebration cake for Bradford as yet.
His team, though, will have to watch their discipline. Bradford ahead 4-0 on the penalty count, and Nicol looks like he's shrugged off that early injury. Another strong drive. Vasilakopoulos did well downstairs. Now Tomlinson makes good yards up the middle. And here goes Robbie Paul. Feeds the pass out wide to Forshaw. Forshaw then brings it back on the inside. Paul has linked up with the attack once again. Good defence, though, from Eagles, forcing him back. This is Spruce. And Stuart Spruce all wrapped up. Good tackle by Aston and Doyle. Now Robbie Paul again. Examining him down this corner. Peacock. Taiwa is there. Taiwa flicks the ball back inside. The referee, though, awards Eagles their first penalty for the Shepherd, but it's on the last tackle, so it's the turnover.
Peacock tried to get the ball away. They ran the power play on the last on the blind side. Well,
there's a penalty. Another one. This time interference at the play of the ball.
Pressure off Glenn Tomlinson. No, it's a problem for the Bradford Bulls. Remember, James Lowe still off with that eye injury, and he really is a key player. The runs from dummy half are so important for the Bradford Bulls. But the pressure yet again is off. As Eddie mentioned, the discipline is so important, especially early in the match.
This is Maiko. What a lovely break from Maiko, and the support arrives. Morganson, and it's picked up by Sovatabua, and Sovatabua's lost it, has he? The ball was all over the place then. Bradford were a little cold in defence.
Good play though. Maiko onto Morganson, who took the wrong option, I feel. Savatabua came up, tried to get the ball away, and you could see that it hit one of the Bradford players. But good support there by the full-back Waseli Savatabua. But Maiko really cut through that defence. And it had to be a good tackle from Spruce. Well, that should perhaps be play on. I think it came off Spruce's legs.
Bradford in possession though. Paul Loughlin. I don't think anybody in the game would deny that Loughlin is deserving of a championship. He's been a runner-up 4 times and a Wembley loser 5 times in his career. Nobody, I think, would deny the bridesmaid Loughlin a share of the wedding cake here today. Bradley. Quick play the ball. That's been the secret of the Bradford march to the top of the table, and power play like that. But Scales loses the ball, but illegally it was stolen from him in a 2-man tackle.
Big hit from Morganson, and you can see that they got their hands to it. It was Morganson that really got the shoulder.
You know what comes with a penalty? All right, still a penalty, mate.
Pinkney warned by referee Steve Ganson. Penalty given to Bradford. The massive support that has followed Bradford down the M1, just a little quiet at the moment. 16 minutes of the game gone. Still we await the first score, and Sheffield have looked very dangerous. But what can Bradford do now with Wittenberg up the middle to getting underneath the posts? Just 5 metres short of the line. Tomlinson in at dummy half. Here's Robbie Paul. He takes it back that way, gives the pass then to Bradley, not the best. Bradley juggling with it but hangs on, then takes the ball into his chest. Now, chances for McNamara, and Peacock will score the first try. Quick play the ball, and the ball fed out wide. McNamara with the final pass to Danny Peacock. And Danny Peacock comes up with his 7th try of the season. And has there been a more valuable touchdown than that?
Keeping the ball alive in the centre of the field, then got it out wide. The loose forward, Steve McNamara serves it in. You can see they went far too high. Rod Doyle was the culprit. Instead of going low, he went high and they just spun away. Good play there by Peacock. Good hard work in the middle. And the loose forward who loves nothing better than to link and provide the pass. And Peacock gleefully accepts.
Danny Peacock then with his 7th try. And Matthew Elliott, I think, will be a far more relieved character right now that Bradford have broken their duck. Peacock, the man who scored the try, he struggled for years with the Gold Coasts, Wests and the South Queensland Crushers. What a change for him. Now Steve McNamara. Not the best kick from McNamara again, but Bradford hold the lead by 4 points to 0.
Loose forward, McNamara holds up the football. It just brings in the 2 defenders. Enough for Peacock to go through that gap. He had a second bite of the cherry, and I'm afraid that Rod Doyle went far too high. Tried to take him ball and all, but all he did was just bounce off him. Spun round for the first try. Good play though, good build-up by Bradford.
Broadbent will once again run the kick-off back at the Bradford defence, getting to the 20-metre mark before the chasers arrive. Vasilakopoulos was the dummy half. This now is McAllister. Forshaw in there quickly with Sonny Nicol. This is Alex Thompson. Now Rod Doyle again. Good defence from the Bradford Bulls.
Well, we spoke about the discipline, didn't we? And it was the indiscipline from the Sheffield Eagles that allowed Bradford to get that penalty and get into the Eagles quarter. And they paid the full price, though. Aston with yet another good kick. Nothing that Glenn Tomlinson could do there. He was the man applying the pressure. He really is a key man for the Eagles. Got plenty of experience.
Well, 20 points from Mark Aston against Bradford here last year. The most prolific point scorer in Sheffield's history, Mark Aston. He's at the hub of the engine room. Sonny Nicol obviously still feeling the effects of that early knock. So Bernard Dwyer comes on. Must say, Steve-O, this Don Valley Stadium is a far different proposition with a big crowd like this on it than when we have been here in the past. It's great to be here tonight.
Tremendous atmosphere out there. It's as though Sheffield are actually playing away from home. But they know every blade of grass here, especially Mark Aston in the kicking stakes.
And here goes Peacock again.
To see the determination etched on Peacock's run then. He really wants to succeed, as does this man. He's looking pretty sharp today. He's had his problems throughout the season, Robbie Paul, but he looks the goods today.
Yes, it's not been the marvellous year that 96 was for Robbie Paul. Although 2 tries against Leeds last Sunday, he's back to his best. And he'll follow men like Nigel Stevenson, captain of the 81 team, and Jimmy Thompson, captain of 1990, if Bradford claim the point that they need here tonight and win the title. Bradley's kick only going dead in goal.
Be disappointed with that, should I say, the big Australian Graham Bradley. Really has been an inspiration to this side. I mentioned before the match kicked off his ability to actually play as a prop forward, and his defence is solid, and the ability, a lot of people don't realise, he seems to be just walking, but they can't get to him. He's so strong and yet is deceiving when he starts running with a football.
This is Keith Senior, British Lions tourist Senior, playing in the second row tonight though. Now Doyle looking for the runner behind him, and Sovatabua had overstepped his mark really. That's Sovatabua at dummy half, who sets off on a good scampering run, makes 10 or 15 metres. It's the last tackle.
Good play by the fullback there. They could see that the first and second markers were slow to get into position.
High kick again to test Scales, and Scales,
that'll be the knock on,
hasn't come up with the football on that occasion.
Well, obviously all the VT tape and the videos that John Keir has been looking at seems to think that that man Jonathan Scales has a problem. Well, he did on that occasion. Of course, the reason why they are kicking into that corner as well is as the sun is dropping behind this stadium, you can see the long shadows, and it is a problem in that corner for that man.
So nothing much between these two sides, just one try. The ball not out of the scrum yet. Now it is, and Aston goes straight through the middle of the scrum.
Well, that's an unusual move. He was hanging on to the football.
Here's Thompson now, and he releases the pass for Silikopoulos. Good call on his inside. Big chance here for Doyle, and he's just held up short of the posts. Well, Sheffield Eagles giving them a real searching examination again with Sovatabua, and Sovatabua gets the try. Salvatore, the referee, is going to hand it on to the video ref. He wants to check that downward pressure was okay on the ball when Sovatabua touched down.
Check if you have any downward pressure.
This will tell us.
I think he lost it. Well, what a bad mistake. You can see just ready to plonk the ball down. And I don't think he did. Not controlled downward pressure.
Well, it's amazing. The Bradford supporters watched the first replay, they cheered. The Sheffield Eagles watched this replay and they've cheered. So I don't know.
Fingertip control may be. The thing is that you can see Sovatabua turns his head. He doesn't want to connect with Stuart Spruce's leg. See how he turns his head? He lost concentration there. And I think that Stuart Spruce's left leg may just have put him off enough. And I think it just loses it about an inch from the ground. This is a tough one. But there is a moment where I think he just loses control, and if we roll it forward, I'm sure we'll see it there. It's only an inch, but it's sufficient, and I think we'll find this is N-O-T-R-Y.
Well, we'll see. The video ref will have his say right now. Everybody watching the big screen at Don Valley. Here's the decision. No try. John Keir stunned. He cannot believe that decision. But he is a good 150, 200 metres away from the big screen, and our video ref watched it very, very closely before coming up with that decision.
Well, the video screen, frame by frame, shows it quite clearly. Impossible for the human eye to have picked that up. Doesn't matter whether you were a couple of inches away or whether you were a worm in the in-goal area, you would not have been able to tell that. Videos does though. But full credit though to the Sheffield Eagles. They're finding the gaps now in the Bulls' defence.
Here's Sovatabua, and he gives it to Broadbent. Amazing, isn't it, that this video referee has denied opposition to Bradford twice in the space of 2 games now. Remember Yestin Harris, who had the try rubbed out last week. James Lowes is back on the field with stitches in the eye. Rod Doyle, he got so close for Sheffield not too long ago. Sheffield not overawed by this at all. Aston, lovely ball back on the inside to Taiwa, and Taiwa puts the ball down.
Loss of concentration there. And the centre had the opportunity. It was good build-up yet again. The architect, see how they used the dummy runner. And the big centre really was coming back on the angle, and the gap was there. Averages 1 mistake per game. Well, that's his so far. He will be trying to make sure that that does not occur again.
Well, the tension is at boiling point here at Don Valley. Nothing to choose between these two sides. Just the 1 touchdown so far for the Bradford Bulls, and that, remember, scored by Danny Peacock. A after 16 minutes. But here goes Morganson, and Morganson's trying to get the pass out to Pinkney, and Morganson throws the ball into touch.
Without a tackle being completed, Scales made a real meal of that again, and Morganson, who's having a wow of the game, just absolutely crucifies it. What on earth was he thinking about there? All they had to do was take the tackle. The Bradford defence, they were expecting to line up in attack. It would have taken a few seconds for them to get back in a one line. Surely Sheffield would have made them suffer.
Incredibly, it's 6 handling errors to 4 in Bradford's favour, although favour isn't really the right word to use. That didn't look like it was played properly by Brian McDermott. This is McNamara now on the halfway line. Robbie Paul. Bradley. Angled run from Bradley. Strength from Bradley. Great tackle. Morganson. And Bradley was trying to play the ball quickly. This is Lowe's.
Great work, Willie Morganson.
High hanging kick across the face of play. Sovatabur allows the ball to bounce, and then it bounces off him and goes over the line, and he had to stand in there because Bradford were steaming down on it.
Well, he made a bad mistake to start with, allowing the ball to bounce in the first place. Under a lot of pressure there from Robbie Paul. He shakes his head, but really the full-back should have been taking that on the full. He should have diffused that high kick, diffused the bomb, which would have been a tap on the quarter to the Eagles. Now they're under more pressure, 6 more to absorb.
It was a good kick though, good drop out from underneath their own post. This is Spruce. Wittenberg is replaced by Rihanna. Certainly there is no respite when it comes to powerful figures coming off that Bradford Bulls bench. Lowe's to Dwyer. Dwyer, good hands to Forshaw, but he is hauled down. Senior was in there very quickly. Now Dwyer again.
It's been good defence by the Eagles. They've only slipped up once, and that's when Peacock came up with a try.
Here's Bradley now. Good tackling again. Senior working so hard along there with Taiwa. This is McNamara. He slides the ball through. It bounced off the legs of Vasilakopoulos. It's back to 0 in the tackle count. Chances here for Forshaw. Forshaw loses the ball. It goes backwards. Rihanna thought he was over the line, but the ball was knocked on, says referee Steve Ganson, and a chance for Bradford's gone.
Trying to keep the ball alive, Forshaw. You could see that Rihanna picks up the ball well in front. No doubt about the knock on, but pressure play yet again.
Matthew Elliott, these are anxious moments for the Bradford coach. Remember, his team have had what they thought was a try scored against them, only to be rubbed out by the video ref, by this man, Sovatabua, who almost went without the football again on that occasion under the pressure from Bradley and Peacock. Now then, Thompson.
Well, if they had any doubts about it, Bradford Bulls realise they are well and truly in a match here. There's no time for celebrations as yet. Only 4 points the difference between the two sides. That one try to Peacock. And Sheffield Eagles are building in confidence. They have found quite a few gaps through this usually strong Bradford Bulls defence.
Here's the kick again from Aston. Angled kick again, looking for the touchline this side of the corner flag, and he finds the mark once more. He turns Bradford round. Good tactics from Aston and coach John Keir.
Kicking well away from the full-back, Stuart Spruce. You could see that Abiyakoku was not in position. Really talented kick into the corner. And the way the defence is going solid, they'll feel pretty confident that perhaps they could squeeze this ball out of one of the Bradford players.
You saw Mike Forshaw going off there, and Jeremy Doniger comes back on. That's a reversal of the blood bin. It will not count in the overall total of substitutions that Bradford are allowed tonight. And Doniger has had 6 stitches in a head wound, so that's 2 Bradford players with stitches. The other one there, James Lowe's in possession now. This is Rihanna.
Good defence again. One going low and the other one smothering the football.
Now Dwyer, support arrives for Dwyer from Spruce. Good tackle though by Broadbent. Bradley at dummy half, he gives it to McNamara. McNamara out wide, it goes to Robbie Paul. Buzz of expectancy whenever Paul gets to the football, but a penalty given for obstruction again.
Use a man as a shepherd. Well, I'm not so sure that he did there. You could see Lachlan out wide. He just threw the dummy. Well, I think the referee is being confused there. Here's the run, and Lachlan didn't do anything untoward. Now, if it had come back in front, perhaps he could have seen that. Well, we spoke about the pressure, and it's just the same for the referee, and Steve Ganson perhaps has made a bit of a boo-boo there.
Half an hour gone. Sheffield 0, Bradford 4. It's pretty tight. It's supposed to be Bradford's celebration party, or at least the start of it, with the point that would give them the title, but Sheffield are taking them every inch of the way, and everyone in Super League will say well done to them for that. This is Broadbent. Good run from Broadbent, that.
Again, we see the Bradford would-be tacklers falling off. They are not getting down.
This is Taiwa. Taiwa for the line, and Taiwa will score. They won't be denied this time. Fetu Taiwa, the New Zealand international, the test wing, who was the baby of the '89 Kiwi touring party, comes up with a try that levels matters up. And there are some Sheffield Eagles supporters here watching this match. It might be Odsal, having been transported down the M1, but the Sheffield Eagles are cheering now.
Taiwa might have scored the try, but put it down to a great run by Broadbent. And again, we see Aston get the ball out wide. He threw a beautiful dummy, didn't he? The big centre. Wetu Taiwa. Two quick balls. Aston, superb ball out wide. Peacock was just left in no man's land. There was a dummy runner coming back on the left-hand side, and this man took full advantage. Tremendous play.
So Fetu Taiwa with the try that levels the scores, and Mark Aston now. He has this kick to give Sheffield Eagles the lead, but he can't find the mark either. So it's 4 points apiece. Sheffield Eagles 4, Bradford Bulls 4. Fetu Taiwa.
There you see the dummy run. It'll go to the man that circled. That was Peacock. He was in two minds. This guy wasn't. Threw the dummy. And they got to him far too late. The strength of the man took him over. This is Broadbent. This is the man that really took them up. Beautiful play there. Not the best attempt by Brian McDermott, the prop forward. His opposite number, Paul Broadbent, would have enjoyed that. What a great fight back. Remember, the Eagles had one try disallowed.
Indeed so, they did. Well, John Keir, the Sheffield Eagles coach, promised us that this would be the case. He said that his team were up for this. Alex Thompson has had his half hour. Dale Lawton has come on then, off the bench, just as John Keir said would be the case. And they have had some marvellous moments here at Don Valley this year. St Helens, Wigan. Last week, of course, the Wigan defeat. And then in the World Club Championship, they beat Perth here. Who will ever forget that night? And is this going to be another famous occasion in Sheffield Eagles' brief history when they just stop the Bradford Bulls bandwagon well and truly in its tracks? McNamara with the kick downfield. Pinckney gets to it eventually.
Well, it wasn't a good kick to start with, but it certainly finished up that way. Bobbled around for Nick Pinckney to get to it in the end. And I must say that some of these Bradford players, they're getting very close to the wind in this play the ball area. There's quite a few out there not getting their foot to it. It has not yet been picked up by the referee, but they really are running a big risk.
Doyle plays the ball to Vasilakopoulos. Here now is Aston. Again the kick. Like a metronome, that right boot of Mark Aston's. And once again, he turns Bradford round with another lovely kick to the touchline.
Well, it becomes like a toothache, doesn't he, Mark Aston? He just niggles away, gnaws away at that little tooth, which is the field. He knows every blade of grass here. Glass as well, I presume, but tremendous talent, this kid. Been around a while, knows exactly what's needed. His kicking game has been quite superb so far.
So it's Bradford's head and feed, and Robbie Paul comes away with the ball from the scrum. They beat Bradford here, by the way, last year, 40 points to 24. They ran in 6 tries. But now Maston has been penalised.
Had another go at him there.
And the flop as well from McAllister.
McAllister came in very late, but he was still hanging on to him, was Mark Aston. He'd be disappointed with that lack of discipline. It's happened on a few occasions in this first half. They've allowed the Bulls to get out of that danger zone, the red zone as they call it.
Lowe's to McNamara. The runner is Stuart Spruce, the full-back. But it's a solid wall of Sheffield Eagles defence that faces the Bradford Bulls whenever they have the ball. And here it is again now. Bradley, though, almost through.
Well, he's supposed to stand up first. They really are running a big risk here. As yet, the official is not playing it to the law. He's allowing play to go on. Oh, bad mistake there.
Doniger lost it.
Well, are they thinking victory before they have to work for it? It certainly looks that way, the way that the lackadaisical way that the big second rower Donner took that. Now you've got to get to your feet and then place the ball. You could see that he just left the ball on the floor.
Well, they've been in Australia, Steve-O. They've picked up all the bad habits, and ever since the World Club Championship, that has been creeping back into the European game more and more.
Steve Ganson hasn't. Players may have, but the referee hasn't.
Now Sovatabua. Good tackle. Rihanna dumped Sovatabua to the ground.
They need it as well. They need someone to show the way, because they're missing these tackles. It's most unlike the Bradford Bulls.
Great run there from Lawton. Vasilakopoulos. Sheffield trying to get a roll on. Here's Taiwo, score of their try.
They're starting to hang back at the Bulls. They're not moving forward. Look how some of them are hanging back, expecting and waiting for the man.
McAllister on a charge. McAllister to the line. He gets the ball down. He was dragged across. That's a try. I'm sure that's a try. Spruce got to him, but I think Spruce has pulled him over the line. And I think McAllister's come up with 4 here, but the referee hands it on to the video referee to make the decision.
What a tremendous run, though, by the second rower, Danny McAllister. And I think you're right, the full-back Stuart Spruce has taken him over. He gets hold of his collar. He bounces on Scales, and Spruce takes him over. He doesn't move the right arm. There'll be little doubt about that. Spruce drags him over. Well, Christmas has come early there for Danny McAllister. Head-on shot will prove beyond doubt as he drags him down. See how he didn't move it? It was Spruce that dragged him through. If it had moved the arm, perhaps it could have been caught for the second movement, but there's no movement of that right arm. This time, it will be TRY.
Well, McAllister, who got a try last week against Wigan in a famous victory, waits for the video referee's decision. So too does John Keir, the Sheffield coach. And the try is given this time. And Sheffield Eagles have rocked the Bradford Bulls to their foundations. They are now ahead by 8 points to 4. Are we on the verge of a big shock here at Don Valley? We've built it up as Bradford's championship celebration, but it's now Sheffield Eagles who have taken the lead. Mark Aston with the conversion attempt. Ahead by 4 points. This for a lead of 6. Aston strikes it with the right foot. The flags go up, and Sheffield Eagles are ahead by 10 points to 4 against the unbeaten league leaders, the champions elect.
Poor tackling, they did not go low. Jeremy Donner early in the tackle count missed a bad one, and then they launched the attack. Out wide, Broadbent. But look how McAllister went through there. They held back. I mentioned that the Bradford Bulls were hanging back rather than going forward. They were waiting to see what the big man were going to do, and this is what he did. Get out of my way. Determined run, express train stuff. Needed to go in off the buffers to score.
So, 10 points to 4 then. Sheffield Eagles ahead. Are they going to be the biggest party poopers of 1997? It's been a gutsy, determined effort from them, And Bradford, maybe they have got the taste of champagne too early. Matthew Elliott will have to work a minor miracle in the dressing room at half-time and work the oracle, certainly, with his discussion. Oh, they dropped the ball. Crowther! He's got support from Taiwo. Taiwo hangs on. Somehow the defence is shuttled back. Here's Doyle. The ball goes to ground. Bradford have it back. There was such an opportunity then for Sheffield. Dearie me.
Well, they made a real meal of that. They had support. They really should have offloaded. What a bad mistake. Well, that could be the turning point. The Bulls were well and truly on the rack, and then when that came, the chance, the Eagles failed to take it. That could just be the lift that they needed. Bradford there. That really should have been try time.
Now up the other end, it's Lowe's. Hauled down by Somatabua and also by McAllister. This now is Robbie Paul. He ghosts away from Somatabua. He finds Dwyer. Dwyer then to Bradley. And Bradley sees a gap and goes for it. Looks for support. Paul is still there. This now is Lachlan. Lachlan going for a gap. And he's hauled down 10 metres short of the line. Doniger at dummy half. Robbie Paul again. Out wide. It goes. Desperate defence from Bradford. Desperately keeping the ball alive at Bradford, but they've been caught in possession on the last tackle.
You could see that Robbie Paul tried to keep it alive. Morganson dropped on the football, but it was deemed as a knock-on, so that was on the last tackle. That's a handover, and they'll be pleased for this, will Bradford?
They will. It will allow Matthew Elliott to get at his players and to regroup and sort it out, because the champions-elect are looking anything but champions at half-time, and it's Sheffield Eagles who lead. A minor crisis maybe for the Bradford Bulls, because Sheffield Eagles have kept to their word, and they have made sure that Bradford are not going to have this one all their own way. Sheffield are ahead by 10 points to 4. Peacock with the try for Bradford, but then Taiwo and McAllister. And don't forget, Sheffield also have had a try disallowed by the video ref. Oh, this match is far from over. It's half-time, 10-4 Sheffield.
Hibs started the season with a bang.
What a hit! What a fantastic goal!
A title challenge this season from the Edinburgh club. Now they visit Dundee United, who themselves can compete with the very best.
Oh my goodness!
Dundee United beat Hibs Sunday at 3:30 live on Sky Sports 1, just part of this weekend's top football lineup.
Coffee, not yet.
Well, what is
You could get nicked for... What now?
Bank job's on.
Oh, blimey. What the X this?
This is an Almira. Lovely little mover.
Shut it. Mark it!
Stop shouting.
I can't!
Handles like a dream, Gov.
Well, wake up and shut up. That's an order. Hello, Squealer.
What, Gov?
I said apple white. This is Parisian moonlight white.
I think we better go back to the yard, Gov, and get some more.
Fuel action Almira.
Shut up.
You're feeling relaxed, yet focused. Good. Now taste the power of chocolate and caramel. New Galaxy Caramel Swirls. You're drooling with desire. Wipe your chin. You'll find lots of Galaxy Swirls in a lovely gift bag, and you'll send them all to me. You like to give prezzies. Galaxy Caramel Swirls. Give in. When you awake, you'll need to run an errand.
Admin are always on at me to liven up my advertisements for John Smith's Extra Smooth Bitter.
They don't think it's enough to talk about its extra smooth taste.
What we need's a bit of action, Jackie. They just don't get it, do they? Well, I told them straight. No gimmicks, no dancing ladybirds, and definitely no penguins. Just me in a pub with a pint of John Smith's Extra Smooth. Pure silk in a glass. So, if this is a bit dull, you can blame me.
Cut it. That was nice, Jack.
So you're going to put the pub background in afterwards?
Yeah, that's right, Jack. Yeah, we're going to put it in later.
Just for the fun of it, the break from being to die for it, just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
Leaflets printed. Delivery. Van hire. To Munich.
Need to find another business? Call Talking Pages free on 0800 600 900.
Sunday at 10.
English girls are very great.
Sky One's roaring success.
Got down on one knee.
Ibiza Uncovered.
Said, will you marry me?
From the heights of passion.
He's a mole without the Space Cadet, so we get on really well.
To the sobering shock of reality.
There's a fire.
It's got it all.
Idiots, 18 going on 12.
And much more.
Lots of club, lots of laughs.
All new Ibiza Uncovered. Will she or won't she? Sunday at 10 only on Sky One.
Ibiza would be alright if it weren't for all the Spanish.
Welcome back to Don Valley, where the half-time situation is a surprise one. Sheffield Eagles 10, Bradford Bulls 4. And, well, the invitations have gone out to Bradford Bulls Championship Party, but the postman looks like he hasn't arrived at Don Valley. But Matthew Elliott will now be talking and trying to sort out the problems that the Bradford Bulls have, because I think it's fair to say that they have got anything other than championship form on show here at Don Valley tonight. And Matthew Elliott is right at the back of the shot there, right on the back wall, and every member of his team are listening intently to what he says. What a difference it must be in the Sheffield Eagles dressing room, because John Keir promised us that Sheffield would come here tonight and give Bradford a real fright, and give Bradford a real fright they have. And the Eagles, they will take great credit from this first half performance. You may remember when we were discussing the match, if you were with us just before the game started, Sean McRae said, look, we're all getting a little bit carried away here and we're saying it's Bradford's title already. I mean, are you going to go into the new job as a prophet? Because, I mean, there's obviously something in the water here.
No, I think what's happened, Eddie, is Bradford just haven't handled the pressure really well in the first 40 minutes. But, of course, as we all know, 10 points to 4 is not an insurmountable lead. And Bradford, of course, have a wonderful ability of being able to rattle up points very, very quickly.
It's a mini crisis, though.
Well, I'd still rather be in Matty Elliott's shoes than Sean McRae's shoes at the moment. I know, you know, Bradford are really the only side that are going to win this championship. But I think the point should be made that Sheffield have defended particularly well, like their life's depended on it, and they've probably had, well, not probably, they've definitely had more scoring opportunities. And a real disappointing fact of Sheffield's play has been their inability at times to control the ball for sets of 6, because I think the scoreline could possibly have been a bit more. And I know when Steve-O shows us on the screen some of the incidents, I mean, the 10-4 I think may be flattering to Bradford. So I wouldn't write Bradford off, but if Sheffield can come out and play another 40 minutes exactly the same, then we may see an upset occur.
Well, Steve-O, we've seen and we have said a few times during the course of the match that Sheffield, they're the Jekyll and Hyde of Super League, but they can come up with stuff like this.
Well, as Sean says, the defence has been very solid, and perhaps scoring first for Bradford wasn't the best thing for their ego, because it looked perhaps they were going to get on with it. McNamara, as usual, running out wide, and this was one of the very few occasions in the first half that the Sheffield Eagles defence allowed it in. Everyone thought sit back, and perhaps many of the players. Now this one, Sovatabua, he definitely lost it. Only the screen could have shown you this, and he just loses control an inch. And the reason being is that Stuart Spruce's right leg, and you can see that the full back turns his head and takes his eyes off the football. And that is a sin. They really should have been in charge here. Well, he's had a few problems, hasn't he, Jonathan Scales? This is the third time that he's made a big mistake. And then Morganson just absolutely crucifies this. They've really been at panic stations as well. And then on this one, just move it out wide and notice how they have the link. See how deep they are. Use the dummy runner back on the inside, and Peacock on that occasion was caught in two minds. He was caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, and when he decided, now then, when we run that ball, look how they run. Let's just hold it there. And you can see this defence. This defence really should have been forcing them back on the inside. It was at a time when they looked as though Bradford perhaps were just tiring. Not the best tackle yet again, but didn't this guy go? That was a tremendous run by McAllister, and he was pulled over. Well, a big mistake. Crowther makes it there. They really should have really closed shop here. Crowther back on the inside. Full credit though to Stuart Spruce. But what on earth were they doing here? They got back in numbers. Peacock, Robbie Paul, and they just squandered it. And that could be the turning point of the game just before half-time. And I think Matthew Elliott will be very, very happy that they're only so many behind. 6 points at half-time, it's not a lot because he knows that they're not been playing well. And he has time now to resurrect it, to get them sorted out, especially their defence. Cut down on the errors, make sure they go through the 6. The kicking game has been very poor as well.
Well, Sean McRae said, didn't he, that Matthew Elliott looked a little bit jittery before the match. I wonder what he's going to feel now as he talks to them at half-time.
Well, he'll be trying to keep a very calm dressing room, Matty, and I think the points will be made that they haven't completed their sets of 6 very well. They're missing some one-on-one tackles. I don't think their defensive pattern is in question. I think it's just been the odd tackle that has caused them a problem. And we've seen a couple of turnovers where Sheffield have been able to gain plenty of yardage and probably haven't really driven home the advantage from it. I think I agree with Steve-O. I think their kicking game could be a bit better, Bradford. I think Mark Aston's been superb for Sheffield.
Just turned them round all the time.
His kicking game's been sensational. It's, one of the best I think we've probably seen all season. He's really forcing the issue, driving the ball over the sideline, getting everybody a break, and of course that's what Sheffield want. Sheffield want to play the game as slow as they can. Bradford want to quicken the pace up and try and run Sheffield off their feet. So Sheffield at the moment are playing almost a perfect game. But I don't think Matty will be screaming and shouting. I think he'll be just pointing out to a few players that they do have roles and responsibilities, and I'm sure that point will be made very clearly.
So a big second half coming up then for the Bradford Bulls. Big second half also for Sheffield Eagles. Can they hang on to this win as it is at the moment? Can they hang on to the lead? And who has caught your eye as the possible man of the match? We'll ask you to ring during the course of the second half. A change in prize this week as it's a special evening, or it was going to be for Bradford. We'll have to wait and see. It's a video games console that is up for grabs for the viewer who comes up with the correct man of the match nomination. We'll tell you when during the course of that second half to get ringing on that number. Well, it's going to be a big anticlimax for these people who've come down from Bradford to watch this. I suppose the safety net that they have is that they still have matches remaining after this. So, despite what happens, Bradford will remain favourites to claim the Super League Championship. But they want it tonight. They want it tonight to spark off a party against Paris next week. Will they? Find out. Second half's on the way.
Man just won't take a hint.
Pierce Brosnan.
You check her out. Head to toe.
Sean Bean.
Why can't you just be a good boy and die?
The British television premiere, coming soon to the Movie Channel.
When I got rid of my grey hair, I wanted a natural look, so I didn't take any chances. I used a sure thing for a natural look, 5-minute Just for Men.
Apply Just for Men and in 5 minutes rinse. Especially timed to blend away grey, bring back your natural look, and condition hair.
It's a sure thing.
Just for Men, a sure thing for a natural look.
Men, is grey hair in your moustache making you look too old? You need Just for Men gel. Brush in, rinse out. Grey's gone in just 5 minutes.
People say I'm a hard man to please. That's because I feel responsible for every single bite. A nice relaxing mud bath.
Halfords, we're nuts about bikes.
Listen to my tale of the unexpected. Well, it's more like a fairy tale, really, with giants and heroes, magic and even mystery. It's called the 1995 Ryder Cup, the story of how the team of 12 Europeans defied all odds and won back the trophy from the mighty Americans. It's stirring stuff, I know, because I was part of that story. Well, it's nearly time for the next chapter, when Severiano Ballesteros will lead his 12 men to Valderrama to defend the coveted trophy against the ever-powerful American challengers.
The Johnny Walker Ryder Cup, sponsored by Ford, coming soon to Sky Sports 1.
Is it another fairy tale in the making?
The race for Super League's runners-up spot continues tomorrow as Leeds third take on London second at Headingley. We'll be live and exclusive on Sky Sports 1 at 6:30. But right now on this glorious evening in the city of Sheffield, Bradford are aiming for the title. But look at the half-time situation. Sheffield 10, Bradford Bulls 4. And Bradford, they still need that point to become the Super League kings of 1997. Robbie Paul, the captain of Bradford. He is Matthew Elliott's leader on the field, and he now will have to inspire his men to come back, to come from behind and claim the point. They would want the victory, but a draw would do. They would then be crowned as the 1997 champions. Paul Broadbent, though, the Sheffield captain, has had a quite outstanding match. He's been big in defence and he's been powerful in attack. So second half about to get underway here at Don Valley. Big crowd has followed Bradford down the motorway to be here for the celebration. But at the moment, those celebrations are very much on hold, with a 6-point deficit to make up in this second 40 minutes. And Matthew Elliott, well, if he was jittery before the match started, he must be pretty nervous now, because he knows his men are still some way away from being crowned the champions. Not the happiest of hunting grounds for them either, Don Valley, over the years, but we're off and running in the second half, and Bradford will remember when they came from behind at half-time against Halifax and claimed such an important victory. Then the margin was 20 points they had to make up. It's minuscule by comparison, but they still have to dredge something up from somewhere. And this crowd just holding its breath a little, you get the feeling, the Bradford supporters amongst them anyway.
Well, we said at half-time that the kicking game from Bradford has not been good, and you can see the lengthening shadows, so they have got to do what Sheffield did. Kicking to the right-hand corner. The sun will be a problem for about another 15 minutes for Sheffield. They're doing that now.
High kick. Sovatabua, though, safe underneath it. And he meets the brick wall that is Danny Peacock. Little Fetu Taiwa now, scampering run. They're grinding out the hard meters up the middle, the Sheffield Eagles players. That's Crowther.
One thing about the Eagles, they will be confident. They know that they had a try disallowed, and they really did bomb 2 more in that first 40 minutes. So they know the gaps are there, and Paul Broadbent yet leading the way. It was one of his bursts that led to their first try.
Obviously the message to Robbie Paul was to get at Mark Aston and not let him get those kicks in. He had to then ship the ball inside. Not many clean breaks in this match, just 7. That's McNamara. He gets the ball away to Rihanna, who spins in the tackle and looks for support, but there was none forthcoming. McDermott.
Be interesting to see how Bradford change their tactics, or if they do that at all. Remember, all through this season they've used the power play, the strength of the forwards and their big 3 quarters to just wear down the opposition.
Paul to McNamara. McNamara, well, he was looking for support. It all sort of evaporated around him, went on diagonal runs, the fellow supporters then. This now is Rihanna up the middle. Senior with the tackle low down. They're tackling manfully, Sheffield Eagles. Little dab through by McNamara, and that has come back on the Sheffield Eagles side to Morganson.
That'll be a knock on from Morganson. But did Robbie Paul get a fingertip to it in the first place? And it's Morganson that's been deemed to knock on. Head and feed, should I say. And it was Morganson. Definitely got the hand to it. He won't be happy with that. Chance there to gain possession.
Mike Forshaw comes on for Bradford Bulls. Jeremy Doniger goes off, and Bernard Dwyer picks up from the base of the scrum and makes it to the 10-metre mark. Now this is an opportunity for Bradford with Bradley, and Bradley trying to step his way to the line. He's just held up 5 metres short. He went for the penalty, non-forthcoming. Lowe's to Rihanna on the charge. Broadbent standing firm as a rock. Also there was Dale Lawton, but still Bradford inching towards that line. This is Brian McDermott, and McDermott is so close. The Bradford supporters think he's over the line, but he isn't.
Half a metre short there.
That's all. Lowe's to Dwyer, and he gets through. Bang under the sticks. Lowe's with a feint to go one way, gave it to Dwyer. The defence had melted away, and Bernard Dwyer comes up with a priceless try at the start of this second half.
It's been a while since I've seen James Lowe's put on this move. Halfway through the season, he was doing it on a regular basis. He's had it hidden away until now. He goes one way, brings the man back on the angle. It's an easy try, but well worked. It looks as though he's spinning round a score. You could see that the opposite number, Marcus Vasilakopoulos, went with him and left that huge gap. He thought that Lowe's opposite number was spinning around on his own, and Dwyer in with a vital try.
This then to level matters up now. And McNamara from bang in front doesn't miss them. It's 10 points apiece. And the ice goes back underneath the champagne. Bernard Dwyer with the try.
Lowe's does a spin around. They look as though he's going on his own, and look what happens. Big gap. Super try.
Matthew Elliott, a little more animated now than he was just a few minutes ago. And Bernard Dwyer, a runner-up in the championship 4 times with St Helens in the past 10 years, has maybe scored the try that will spark Bradford Bulls into a second half where they play like true champions.
Well, remember, it came from that knock-on from Morganson. A bad mistake. It was on the last tackle. Bradford were putting the little grubber kick through.
So it's 10-all here at Don Valley, and let's go downstairs to Bill, who's with Paul Medley.
Paul, a completed set of 6 from the Bulls, which is exactly what Matthew Elliott was screaming for at half-time, presumably.
Yeah, Matt was disappointed in the fact that we were only completed about 10 or 12 sets, and we'd free us, about 7 sets we'd let go before the 3rd tackle. So he was disappointed that we'd not control the ball as good as we should have done. And that's the call for the second half, is to control the ball and put pressure on Sheffield.
Now, you know what it's like to be in this situation, having been in Sheffield's situation as a Bradford player.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Peacock with the burst, and Peacock has support from Bradley, and Bradley gets just almost to the line. The ball pops out, and Betu Taiwa's got it back for Sheffield. Bradley thought he was stretching out to score the try. From somewhere, the Eagles' defence arrived.
What a beautiful tackle by Herbert. He came up with a ball somehow. That was excellent play. And he just lost it. It went underneath him. Chance gone begging. He knows that try could have been the one that takes the championship. The trophy could have been his.
Tremendous tackling though by this Sheffield defence, who are really working overtime. That was Jason Herber's first and only tackle of this match. What a time to come up with it. Here's John Scales now. That could have been a knock-on, He got fingertips to that. And then the ball eventually settled in the arms of John Scales, but that could so easily have been picked as a knock-on by the referee. There's Scales at dummy half. Here now is Forshaw to the halfway line.
Must be a big problem for Matthew Elliott, because Scales is not having the best of afternoons, or should I say evenings. They are applying the pressure, Sheffield, at every opportunity. That will be back to 6, surely.
They keep the movement going. Bradford, it is back to 6. Mark Aston got a hand to it. This is Bernard Dwyer.
This is where Bradford have to settle things down, drive.
Looks like that with Lowe's. Lowe's up the middle. Again, desperate defence. It's now with McNamara. McNamara to the line. And he's over.
Is it a double
across. The referee hands it on to the video ref.
Did he move the arm?
Well, he certainly bounced his way over, but as you say, was the arm moved?
Aston tried to get the football away. Vasilikopoulos was there, and I think you'll find that that is a second movement. The ball-carrying arm hit the deck. Little doubt about that. Bang, there it is, and that is a second movement. You could see the effort as he twists his body and moves the arm. Another difficult one for the video referee, but for mine, was he taken over Vasilikopoulos? Did McNamara move the arm? It is a 50-50.
It's a tough one to call, but the championship might hang on this. Matthew Elliott watching, Steve McNamara watching, we're all watching. Here it is. No try. Double movement is the decision.
That'll be penalty to Sheffield. Well, what drama we're having here at the Don Valley Stadium. Aston tried to get the ball away, which probably would have been a penalty anyway to Bradford. But I think the video referee, who's been under a lot of pressure in this game, got it right just. And that's enough. That's what it's there for.
So, contentious decisions on either side in this match. Sheffield Eagles escape. It's 10 points apiece. Broadbent, who's had a magnificent match.
Well, in the space of 5 minutes, we've had Bradley go close, lose the football. McNamara have a try, denied.
And now it's Sheffield's turn to attack with Mark Aston. Brave displays from the little scrum half tonight. That was a quick play of the ball. This is Erba, and he finds Maiko. Maiko to the 20-metre line. It's the last tackle with Sovatabua. Sovatabua dabs it through. That'll be play on. Not wipe the tackle count down though. Kick into the corner. Loughlin picks it up. He's in the field of play, and Bradford come to push him back.
Loughlin did well there, and so did Scales. He looked as though he was going to be pushed over, and look how Scales gets the extra weight to him. Well, he's been under a lot of pressure, Jonathan Scales. He's made a few mistakes, but on that occasion there, he really came to the rescue.
Well, 18 straight wins behind them, aiming to go through the season with the 100% record, but they've lost on their last 2 visits to Don Valley, and both of them in the league, and they are having an almighty scrap. An almighty scrap to maintain that 100% record at the top of the table. Of course, if it stays like this, Bradford are the champions anyway, but I'm sure they want to go on and push on for the victory.
Wasted kick there by Peacock. That really was a bad kick.
Sovatabua, what a run from him. Well, you have to ask the question, where on earth have Sheffield been hiding this form for the vast majority of this season? I know they've beaten St Helens, I know they've beaten Wigan, and I know they're giving Bradford a real run for their money here, but if they could sustain this from start to finish, they'd be champions themselves.
Now then, that could have been a penalty because the tackle was not affected. I don't think it was completed. See how he pushed his man. Dwyer didn't get him down.
The ball carrying arm didn't touch the ground, but unless Steve Ganson shouted held, he's now going to shout for a penalty, and someone's on his way to the bin. McNamara, no, Stuart Spruce is on his way to the sin bin.
Professional foul there by the fullback Stuart Spruce. He knew that the Bulls were well and truly on the rack. Sheffield moving forward. They found their confidence again, there's little doubt about it. Broadbent leading the way. Such weight, such strength. Second ago, Spruce there, and pressure on the coach, Matthew Elliott.
Yes, because this penalty from Aston will restore Sheffield's advantage again. If he kicks it, of course. Spruce in the sin bin. The professional foul. Now Aston, 1 from 2 here. This will take him to within 2 points of 2,000 for his career. And Aston is deadly from that range. Sheffield 12, Bradford 10.
How important will that be, Stuart Spruce? 10 minutes in the sin bin. Matthew Elliott knows it's going to take a big effort now. Bradford down to 12 men. John Keir quite happy to take refreshments. He's hoping that the Sheffield Eagles perhaps can hang on for the full 80 minutes now. He knows only too well that the Bradford Bulls have got so much strength. It has been one of the most remarkable things this season, the way that the Bulls have finished, especially in the last 10 minutes.
I suppose really we should have expected this, because they've won 3 of the last 4 in Super League, have the Sheffield Eagles, and only London have really got on top of them, winning by 50 points to 8. They were 44-0 up at half-time here. I mean, it's incredible to think the way they're giving the champions-elect a roasting here at steamy Don Valley.
Well, the Eagles coach John Keir said they would not lie down.
And now it's Robbie Paul, though. Dancing, jinking run from Paul, and they've opened up for him. Eventually, Dale Lawton rather got to him, hauled him down. This is McNamara. He's collared, 20 metres out. Lowe's to Dwyer, the 1-2 that came up with the try earlier. Not on this occasion. Dwyer struggles to his feet on the last tackle. Lowe's will go alone. The ball comes free. It was stolen from Lowe's. It's a penalty to Bradford.
Well, was it whipped out there by Sovatabua, the full back? Great defence again. And number 10, Dale Lawton, has been involved in the last 4 tackles. And Sovatabua, no, it's Senior that gets a hand to it. That's a big move by Senior, playing in the second row. Surely they'll take the 2 on offer. Bradford only have to draw, remember. They will be quite happy to put away these 2 points, level the scores.
Well, I think the message has gone out to McNamara to kick at goal.
Not only that, Eddie, it will eat up the clock, of course.
Jason Herber looks like he's got a shoulder problem. The French international Garcia is the man who comes on as Steve McNamara lines up his sights for this kick that would level the match again at 12 points all. Concentration etched on the face. McNamara is successful with the kick. It's 12 all again. The match is level.
Neat little run by James Lowes. And it was Senior that sinned, gave that man the chance. They know that that trophy is on the sideboard at Otzel. A long time between drinks. What a great reward for that man, Matthew Elliott. Still time to go, though.
Sovatabua allowed it to bounce on his chest. Took an eternity to pick it up, though, and that's allowed Bradford to pen them back in their own 10-metre zone. That's Dale Lawton back after a lone spell at Wakefield Trinity. And the penalty now to Bradford, because the ball, Lawton was trying to play the ball from a horizontal position with 2 men all over him.
Well, I think that's a little bit harsh. Now, I know it puts the ball down there. Now, there's 2 at the bottom, 1 on the top. Now, did the referee call held? That is a big question. It looks as though the progress is being stopped. It's silly of Lawton to even attempt that. But you can't say that if the tackle had been completed. We don't know. I did not hear the referee Ganson call it. Silly play by Lawton, who defended heroically. 4 tackles on the trot just before that.
Well, 2 strange penalties going against Sheffield here. The last one where they stole the ball on the last tackle, and this one where they've been penalised for incorrect playing of the football. So another opportunity for McNamara, and he adds the extra 2 points that Bradford were looking for. So an easy 4 points for them in the last couple of minutes from the boot of Steve McNamara for silly penalties giving away by the Sheffield Eagles.
Well, it's obvious that the referee did not shout held, so therefore this was stupid play by Lawton to try to get on with it. He was obviously trying to milk the penalty the Eagles' way, and it turned turtle on him.
McNamara restarts then. Bradford ahead by 2 points.
Well, you could see Lawton do exactly the same thing again. Instead of standing up and then placing the football, he did exactly what he did a few seconds ago to give away the penalty. This time there wasn't as many around him.
That's for Silikopoulos. Garcia, and he hands the ball on. This now is Senior. And Senior gets the Eagles over the halfway line. Here's Aston. Once again, the kick to the corner. But it's only found Robbie Paul. Now, I was going to say time for a Robbie Paul special maybe. The Sheffield players appealing that Paul knocked it on as he went down in that tackle, but referee and touch judge have other ideas.
Well, Robbie Paul, of course, having to play full back in the absence of Stuart Spruce in the sin bin, and Mark Aston would have been disappointed with that kick downfield. He was aiming for Jonathan Scales again, but misdirected it straight into the arms of Robbie Paul. That's the last person they want to be giving the football to.
Lowe's at dummy half. McNamara, Forshaw. What a signing Mike Forshaw has been. Fabulous signing. Dwyer. Ball down by Garcia.
Dwyer has the experience to settle things down.
Bradley, shape to kick. Now he kicks cross field. Sovatabua's after this. Oh, Pinkney just gets it second attempt. Good run from Nick Pinkney to the 10-metre line before he's tackled by Robbie Paul.
Good play by Bradley on the blind side. He hadn't much room to work with, but he got the kick across. And Robbie Paul was very quick there to apply the pressure to Nick Pinkney. This really is going to go down to the wire. It's very warm out there, so fitness certainly will tell in the latter stages.
Here's Senior. He's lost it. The ball flicked back to Garcia, who retains possession for the Sheffield Eagles. Then he's tackled by Wittenberg.
Risky play by Senior.
2.5 minutes or thereabouts to go for Stuart Spruce. It's not been a bad 10 minutes to be off the field, because Bradford are ahead now. Big kick downfield. Robbie Paul again. Just weighing up the situation as he takes it at Maiko and loses it. And then Fetu Taiwa put the ball down as well. He will play the first knock on, surely. It will be head and feed to the Eagles.
What a bad mistake to come up there. Was it reefed out though? And if it was, then that was play on. And I think you'll find that Maiko actually reefed that ball out, and therefore that knock on should have given Bradford the head and feed, but he's deemed that Robbie Paul has lost it. You'll see that Maiko's arm goes underneath for it. Definitely interference there.
Sheffield with the possession from the scrum. Coming up to the hour mark, and still little to choose between these two. Senior. Bradford searching for a spark from somewhere that will push them on and confirm the victory that they're looking for, but the Eagles will not lie down. This is Broadbent on the charge. Desperate defence from Wittenberg and Forshaw.
Beautiful work by Mike Aston, running the angle, bringing Broadbent back on the inside.
Maiko now escapes the clutches of one, loses it under pressure from Wittenberg.
Well, that should be play on, one-on-one, surely. Was the ball stolen? Certainly was, so that's play on. That's not a knock on. He should have played the first tackle there where Maiko recovered the football. Well, this is pressure time all round. Little doubt that that was taken out by Wittenberg.
An incredible noise at Don Valley, and it's the Bradford supporters who are making it. They must be outnumbering the Sheffield fans 5-1 here. Ricky Wright has come on for Sheffield Eagles. Must be difficult, Steve-O, for Sheffield to be playing in this atmosphere because, for goodness sake, this is a home game to all intents and purposes for Bradford Bulls.
Scales lost control of that football. The officials missed it. Well, a few of these things going their way.
He's not missed that.
He had the hand to him. It was Wright who has just come onto the football field, and you can see he has a little bit a grab at McNamara. Well, the officials have seen some things.
Spruce is back out of the sin bin.
Spruce is back on, as Eddie mentioned. Pressure all around. Nerves are plenty. No one's moving, that's for sure.
Definitely not. I'm sure you're not at home either, and it's time now to vote for your man of the match. 0891 66 55 25. That's the telephone number to take part in our poll vote. Here's Tomlinson.
Well, surely Bradford have to go for the kicking game now.
Well, that's maybe why Tomlinson is on. This is Dwyer.
Trying to get the ball in the in-goal area now.
Lowe's. Back it goes to McDermott, the prop forward, who will drive it in towards the line again. This Sheffield defence is working overtime. Lowe's to Forshaw, and Forshaw is hauled down again. Tywer in once more for a fabulous tackle along with Maiko, and it's the turnover on the last tackle. They went for the power play.
I'm not so sure I would have elected for that. I would have gone for the kick, applied the pressure in the in-goal area. Forshaw was taken out. Tywer did well there. Forshaw was just about thinking to reach over. Tywer cut that down.
Oh, and Senior's gone without it. Robbie Paul's got it back for the Bulls, and he's immediately tackled there by Vasilakopoulos.
Took his eyes off the football. You could see him turning the head.
Now Forshaw, so close just a moment ago. Brushes away from one tackle from Vasilakopoulos. Can't get away from Doyle. Lowe's, Tomlinson.
Well, I'd be looking for a one-pointer here, just to take that little step further away from the Eagles.
McDermott now loses it.
Knock on.
Great defence again from Sheffield. No wonder Mark Aston is shaking hands and patting people on the back. It's been a great effort. Broadbent again.
Thompson down low. Broadbent put the shoulder in. Little wonder the Eagles gave each other high fives. They're still in with it. Average is 29. He's only got 4 more to reach that average, and still plenty more time out there.
Well, I don't know whether Sheffield Eagles are being inspired by this crowd, but I can tell you it is a record home crowd for Sheffield Eagles. 10,500 are inside Don Valley watching this, and the majority of them, it must be said, are holding their breath and hoping that Bradford could come up with a Super League title. But the minority of Sheffield Eagles supporters are witnessing an heroic effort from their team. Here's Ricky Wright.
Roll away, roll away.
Oh, Ikoku picked up an injury there. He's still on the ground.
Now Mark Aston. Out wide it comes to Morganson. Morganson tries to chip it over the top of Scales. Didn't get the best kick in.
Wasted effort there by Morganson. There was no real weight behind it. Didn't get the right contact he needed. Scales plucks it out of the air. Well, surely Bradford have to use this kicking game. They're trying to barge through yet again.
That's a big blow for Sheffield. They've lost their captain. He's gone off to be replaced by Lawton.
Ikoku's still receiving treatment in the back play.
Here's Tomlinson. Out wide it goes to Scales. And this evening, the stickiness in the Bradford fingers just hasn't been there.
Not the best pass, though, by Tomlinson. Really was in front of Scales. You can't blame him for that one.
They've put a lot of ball down, though, Steve-O, haven't they?
He sure has.
It must be nerves, I suppose.
Well, the thing is, he's only had 3, but they've been very vital, haven't they? But I just cannot believe that Bradford are not electing into this kicking game. It was non-existent in the first half, and it's followed in the same pattern in the second stanza.
Mark Aston's kicking game has been superb. This is Sovatabua now. And Somatabua goes for the little gap again. Peacock and Bradley have to close him down.
Had a big game as a fullback, hasn't he? So's this guy as well.
Great little run again from Morganson. Sheffield Eagles will not be downed, will they? They keep coming and coming at them.
Well, I get the feeling whoever scores a try, it will seal this game.
This is Maiko.
I think the heads will go down on the side that concedes a 4-pointer.
Ricky Wright, last tackle for Sheffield. What have they got up their sleeve here? Oh, Vasilakopoulos has gone without the ball.
Aston was steaming at him. I wanted the football. They wanted to go the blind side. It was going to be a little kick. Oh, dearie me, what a mistake.
All the pressure goes off.
Still, they have them hemmed down in their own quarter. Good run by Scales, though. There's a lot of tired legs out there. It has been really warm.
McDermott does well, gives the ball to Forshaw. Good tackle again from Morganson. Lachlan at dummy half. Tomlinson.
To see how the Sheffield defence are moving up quickly out wide, leaving no option but Bradford to go down the middle. Bit of punches flying there. That's be a knock on.
Yes, Bruce lost the ball.
Trying to keep the ball alive. Why on earth try to do that when it's 14-12 when you really should be setting up for the kick?
Here's Senior. Sheffield have got the ball back then.
And again we saw a player. There you see the incident. Ricky Wright throwing a few. And a bad mistake by Spruce, who just come back onto the field from a stint in the sin bin. But there's still players out there not touching the football whilst playing the ball.
Aston and Maiko. Would have been very interesting to see Martin Wood in this Sheffield team tonight. Maiko only got the late call because Wood failed a fitness test.
Well, he certainly hasn't let the side down.
He has not.
Aston and Maiko have been the pick of the two halves.
High kick again from Aston. This could be interesting. Ikoku's underneath it. The ball was bounced back though by the Sheffield Eagles player, and Bradley is able to drop on it gratefully.
Well, not the best effort there by Ikoku, of course, who has been receiving treatment several minutes actually in the back play.
Now Forshaw.
Well, all this effort could be relieved if they get into the kicking game. Aston has gone back into the sweeping role now.
McNamara comes on to replace Ikoku as Lowe's sets off on another run. He's hauled back by Doyle and by Vasilakopoulos. Now Tomlinson, angled run, ball back to Bradley. Bradley across the face, and then he suddenly straightens it up, escapes one lot of clutches, but can't get away from Doyle. Now it's McDermott, here's Wittenberg, and Wittenberg powering to the line, and Wittenberg just checking that Ganson's going to give it, and he does. Wittenberg gets the try, and is that the moment when we can say Bradford Bulls are the champions of '97? What a time to come up with only a second try of the season, but the big Aussie prop forward, Jeff Wittenberg, has got a vital 4 points.
The big prop forward wanted this. He really came onto it. Steamed through, and for once the Sheffield defence held off. Run the angle, pushed them all away. They went far too high for the big fella. You must go low. It's been one of the secrets for Sheffield today, but not on that occasion. The big fella goes in, and you can see the look. This is Tomlinson back on the inside. Bradley, who's had a tremendous season. So big, so strong, so hard to put down. You've got to go low, but they failed to do it on this occasion. He pushed Maiko away. He will remember that, because I think that Wittenberg's try has found a new name on the Super League trophy. You could see on the faces of the Sheffield Eagles, they're down.
McNamara with this kick to stretch the lead again, and McNamara adds the extra two. So Jeff Wittenberg, who arrived here when Michael Hogue ran into work permit problems with the Bulls, could now be a champion, and what's more, his name is on the score sheet in a match that will probably now clinch the Super League crown. It's a fairy tale for Wittenberg, but it could so easily have been a nightmare for Bradford, the way Sheffield have taken them every inch of the way. 9 minutes to go. The gap now is 8 points, and Bradford restart again with McNamara. And suddenly, over on the far side of this vast Don Valley Stadium, the party gets into full swing. But what twist and turn do we have in this match yet? This is Crowther, and Crowther grounded by Stuart Spruce. The Eagles rolling forward again with senior. Matthew Elliott is in no mood to celebrate. The fans might be. Doyle, out wide it goes once more. Garcia. Sheffield Eagles are not done yet.
Beautiful run by Crowther. They will not throw the towel in, but they need a quick try. Good defence by the man who scored the vital try, Wittenberg then.
Aston, that was a good ball to Taiwa, and well wrapped up by Lowe's. And also Mike Forshaw. Last tackle here for the Eagles. Aston will hoist the kick towards the in-goal area. It's claimed by Crowther, but that was then claimed by Peacock. Well,
what tension there. Kick from Aston on the last, and you can see that he tried to keep the ball alive under a lot of pressure. You can't blame them for doing that. They've got to. Crowther tried to slip the ball away. It's up the jumper time now. Well, surely they'll use a kicking game now on the sixth tackle.
Don't forget to vote for your man of the match. 0891 66 55 25. Peacock is away. Peacock has made the break. He's turned Sovatabua around the other way, and Peacock is hauled down by Sovatabua. What an effort from the fullback. Here come Bradford again, and it's Lowe's who's over for the try. That's the moment, I think. That's the moment for Matthew Elliott, the moment for James Lowe's, and the moment for Bradford Bulls, when we can say that the Bradford Bulls are champions of 1997. It was a marvellous tackle from Sovatabua, but he was a little bit like King Canute trying to stop the waves, and Lowe's came in on the second wave and got the try.
Could not have gone to a better man. Robbie Paul set it up, beautiful pass to Peacock, who went inside Sovatabua and did so well to come back on the second challenge. He did well though, Peacock, he did not panic. Lowe's was steaming in on the blind side. I want this. It could not have gone to a better man. He has been inspirational as a hooker, James Lowe's. He came as a bad man from Leeds. They said he could not curb his temper. The Bulls certainly did that. They changed him from a toughie into a superstar.
Tries in 4 successive Super League matches for James Lowe's. And you can hear what the crowd here think about this Bradford team now, as McNamara adds 2 more, and they certainly are the champions. 26 points to 12. It's been a hard night's work for Bradford and James Lowe's, but now I think we can safely say that the Bulls will be taking home that trophy, and they will be the champions of 97.
And full credit to the Bradford Bulls, the players, the officials and the crowds. They deserve this, and they deserve it for keeping their cool. They did not fold when it looked as though Sheffield were going to rip them apart. It was hard work all the way through.
5 minutes to go, and then the party can really get into full swing. Just 5 minutes separating the Bradford Bulls from the end of a 16-year wait. Matthew Elliott. His side beat Warrington on the first Friday of the season, and they have kept the momentum going all year. Significant wins at St Helens, at Wigan and Halifax, where they were 26-6 down at half-time, and won in the end by 4 points. And they have been given a torrid examination here by the Sheffield Eagles, but they've come up with the goods. And Spruce battering his way into the 30-metre zone.
It's been a tremendous match. Both sides really do deserve all the applause, all the accolades. The Eagles perhaps forlorn on the losing end, but they've gone down to the champion side. So often Bradford, the power game has got them through in the vital last 10 minutes. It has done them well yet again. The confidence that their coach has given them has come up trumps.
And this is McNamara. They're looking for more with Peacock. Great defence again from Sheffield, though. Garcia and Crowther in quickly. Last tackle here. Paul Tomlinson. They're going to chip it out wide, looking for the runner. Scales. It beat him, but it got to Forshaw, who gets another. Mike Forshaw gets the try, but the referee will have a look, or ask the video ref to have a look to check whether there was a knock on. Forshaw believes he scored.
Neat kick over the top. On this occasion, they do go for the kicking game. That's why Elliott brought on Glenn Tomlinson. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Did Scales get a fingertip to it? That's what they're trying to ascertain, but it doesn't matter. It never hit the ground. Forshaw came from a behind situation. He was not in front of Scales. So I think you'll find that this is a try that will wrap it up, but really the Eagles do not deserve to go down with such a scoreline. It's been a great effort from them.
And there's the try given. Mike Forshaw's name is added to the try scoring list on this night of nights for Matthew Elliott and his team. Matthew Elliott's face really says it all, and the crowd were applauding him when his image appeared on the big screen. It's a great moment to lead anyone to a championship, and Matthew Elliott in his first season has done exactly that. Remember, it was Matthew Elliott who picked up the pieces when Brian Smith left for Australia, and Matthew Elliott has brought the first title to Odsal in 16 years. McNamara with the trusty boot. Great kick from McNamara. Terrific kick from McNamara. 32 points to 12. And I can tell you that Steve McNamara was a little concerned that I pointed the finger at him last week about missing goal kicks, but he has not missed much tonight, and he has played his part in this victory.
He certainly didn't miss giving you the daggers then, Eddie, that is for sure. He came right the way to the sideline, to the commentary box. There was little doubt what he was thinking. He had a smile on his face.
He did, and I'll take it on the chin as well, because he's kicked magnificently today. He has had a wonderful season, as has Graham Bradley.
Well, I'm glad it's on the chin and not the nose. He certainly wouldn't have missed the nose, that's for sure. But full credit to this crowd, the team, the club itself. They truly have been a champion side. But full credit to the Sheffield Eagles also. They know they've been beaten by a champion side, and full credit to this Bradford outfit. They really have tried hard. We said that fitness and stamina would play its part, and it certainly has. They've picked themselves off the floor, Bradford, yet again.
And what a tribute this championship is to the depth of squad that they've got at Odsal, as well as the 17 that we've seen on duty tonight. You've got the likes of Medley, Anderson, Calland, Hodgson, Knox, Jowett and Graham, all men who have played their part during the course of this long and grueling season, and who are here tonight to enjoy the moment with their teammates. They should not be forgotten either. And of course it's worth reminding, particularly people from the east of the country, like my learned colleague here, that this is the first team of Yorkshire champions for 11 years. Halifax, the last team to bring the trophy over the Pennines to this side of the world, and Bradford now have followed them into the record books.
Why do you think I'm standing?
The crowd are counting them down to the title. There it is! Bradford Bulls are champions of Super League, and Matthew Elliott, in his very first season, picks up silverware and picks up glory. Tremendous. A wonderful, wonderful effort from Bradford Bulls, and Robbie Paul, he becomes the captain of the Bradford Bulls, who lift the championship. Okay. And he follows some famous names who have led Bradford to the title. Men like Nigel Stevenson and Jimmy Thompson. Well, let's hear from Matthew Elliott as the crowd invade the pitch and join in the celebrations with their heroes. There is the Bradford coach, he's with Bill.
He's just about to get mobbed by Bull supporters, Matthew. What a night!
It's very humbling, mate.
I don't think we're going to be able to hear from Matthew Elliott somehow. It just shows you what the championship means to these people and to Matthew Elliott. It's Bradford's first trophy since they won the Yorkshire Cup in 1989. Their 7th championship. 1904, 3 times during the war, 1940, 41 and 45, 1980 and 81. Champions of Super League in its 2nd year. They follow St Helens. They're not receiving the trophy here at Don Valley. Oh no, they're saving that up for a huge Odsal party next weekend against Paris Saint-Germain. But the big scoreboard here at Don Valley really does say it all. Congratulations to the Bradford Bulls, the Super League champions of 1997, and James Lowes, who got one of the tries, and Steve McNamara, who kicked and has kicked so many goals this season. Fabulous effort. And as Steve-O says, they really do deserve this moment, because there's been a lot of hard work put in, Steve-O, at Odsal over the past 2 years.
It certainly has, and of course, remember, it looked as though it was all about to fall apart. They lost their coach, Brian Smith. He went back to Australia. But the Bradford board, they did not panic. They knew that they had a man in place, a man who actually prepared this team before Brian Smith actually came to take charge from Australia. His name was Matthew Elliott. Slowly but surely, he has moulded a championship side. What a tremendous effort. The emotion that must be going through that man and all the team and all the supporters. All that hard work has paid off.
Well, it's obvious that Bradford take all the headlines, but we mustn't forget Sheffield Eagles and the tremendous effort that they put into making this match such a hard road for the Bradford Bulls to get down to reach this pinnacle of their season.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that they're cheering the players off. It was a tough encounter. Peacock there, shoulder high. He had a tremendous match. Did everything that was asked upon him in defence and attack. A big game and a big night.
Well, it is a big night, and still to come here on Sky Sports at 8:30. It's International Rugby Union, another chance to see New Zealand's Tri-Nations match against the Aussies. Over on Sky Sports 2 now, we've live horse racing from Brighton and Wolverhampton. And at 9:30, the big hits continue in Aussie rules football. And live over on Sky Sports 3 right now, Day 3 of the US PGA Championship. All that still to come tonight in our 3 great sports channels here on Sky. And we on Sky Sports, on the Super League team, we congratulate and salute the champions of 1997. Matthew Elliott and his Bradford Bulls have given us so many marvellous memories this year, and they have come up with a 32-12 win, and we'll be celebrating with them when we return. Stay right where you are.
Superbikes, and aren't you lucky?
The party moves on to Austria, Sunday morning at 10:30, live on Sky Sports 1.
Can I drive?
Not yet.
Beautiful scenery. Pity you're missing it.
I'm really happy. This is great.
Maybe it's the performance of its 16-valve Ecotec engine, its superb manoeuvrability and car-like handling. But everyone wants to drive the Sintra, Vauxhall's new MPV.
So when can I drive?
The new Sintra. To drive it is to love it.
If you ever get the chance.
That, John? That Barry is Mystic Mog. She sees into the future. Has she seen anything yet? Yes, she's predicted the kitty cat are going to make their lovely meaty chunks even tastier. Oh, impossible. She's seen some new tasty flavours too. That sounds nice. Too. No, you ginger furball. Oh, pardon me. The tasty new flavours bit. Let's have a look.
New tastier kitty cat. Coming soon.
This year, there's no changing course and no getting off.
Oh, man!
Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Have you ever used this thing?
Yeah, all the time.
Another of your fads.
It was a special offer.
A complete waste of money, more like. Here, do the shopping, if you think you're up to it.
Softener and washing powder. Ah! Don't need softener. Money waster, eh?
Clean and soft. This bulb must have cost a bit.
Ah, no separate softener. So it was over £1 less.
At least your brain's in good shape.
Every time you start your car from cold, it takes a while for your engine to get full protection from its oil. Metal grinds against metal. The damage is permanent. Castrol GTX Magnatec works differently. Unique polarized molecules cling like a magnet, dramatically reducing engine wear. For protection from the moment you turn the key, ask your garage for Castrol GTX Magnatec.
Sometimes the droughts here are very bad. The search for water is never ending. In the heat of the day, my father digs in the dried-out waterhole, looking for toads. When he has one, he will squeeze out the liquid and drink it. But then, Dad never was the sharpest tool in the box.
So congratulations to the Bradford Bulls. They have won the championship and they have won the match. 32 points to 12. A record crowd here at Don Valley to see them, and the majority of them, it must be said, have come from Bradford to enjoy the party, which now is in full swing. That's the scene outside the dressing room. We tried to talk to Matthew Elliott on the field just as soon as the final siren had sounded. But we're on the way now into the dressing room area to talk to the victorious Bradford coach. There he is, Matty Elliott, and he's with Bill.
Matthew, the party's started, but for a long time it looked as though Sheffield were going to be the party poopers, didn't it?
Mate, I thought the scoreline really did flatter us tonight, but I'll analyse the game in about a week, I think. I'll just take the victory as it is, and I'm so pleased to be honoured with an organisation that's progressive as Bradford. And as I was trying to say before, it's very humbling when you sit down and think how much hard work's gone into this, and the amount of people that have put it in it sort of makes you very modest.
In a way, though, this was confirmation of your championship credentials, because it was no great performance, but your guys stuck at it.
It certainly wasn't no great performance, but as I said, my mind's a jamble at the moment. I haven't had time to analyse it, but we were certainly well below our best. There were a couple of individuals who stood up for us. I thought Jeff Wittenberg, Bernard Dwyer in particular, made a big difference for us, and I'm at that stage again, mate. So,
not again.
Yeah, again. I just want to thank everyone, really, all these people that, it was like a home tie today. It was like being at Wembley again. It was unbelievable, and they're obviously as excited about it as I am, and it's one one little hurdle that we've overcome on a whole list of goals we got in front of us. So I'm going to enjoy myself tonight, but I'm also not going to lose touch of what else we need to do and how we got here.
Matthew, congratulations. The Man of the Match award, a video games console you won. Steve McNamara, congratulations, Steve. Great night.
Yeah, it's a fabulous night. I mean, it's been a long, hard season. There's still a few games to go yet, but it was important that we did it tonight. And we struggled for the first half, but came out strong in the second half. And the lads just delighted with the win.
What about the season overall, Steve? It's not finished yet.
The season's not finished, but I mean, we've only had one real blip, and that was the Challenge Cup final. We want to go back to Old Trafford and try and win the Premiership if we can. But we're going to save it tonight because it's probably the biggest night in the club's history. We're the second winners of the Super League, and we're really going to enjoy it tonight.
Thanks, Steve. Well done.
Cheers, Bill. Thanks a lot.
And even the Bull is getting in on it as well, the Bull man. And why not? Because he's part and parcel of the Oddsall scene. Congratulations to them all. And congratulations to Louise May from London, who wins the Man of the Match competition, and she also wins the video games console. So congratulations to Louise May from London, and well done to the Bradford Bulls, who of course we will see in the big party at Oddsall next Friday at 7 when they take on Paris Saint-Germain. And that is the night when this glittering trophy will be handed over officially. And Sean, you can kiss goodbye to that little piece of silverware you've seen every day for the last 12 months.
Yeah, well, Bradford can have it for a year and we'll see what happens in 98. But, I think Matty's probably summed it up there. It doesn't matter how you win, as long as they did win, and they didn't play particularly well, but at least they turned things around the second half, and they did what Sheffield had done in the first half, and that was control the ball, and they defended particularly well. And I think Sheffield were the ones that were affected by the heat. They seemed to fatigue, and Bradford are just too powerful, and they've shown their class again without being you wouldn't say it was an awe-inspiring performance. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They've got the 2 points, they've got the trophy, they've earned it all year, and they've been the best side. And as I said before, before they kick off, if anyone was going to win it apart from St Helens, I'm really happy for Matty Elliott. Thoroughly deserved it, and Bradford have been over the last 2 years certainly one of the most consistent sides. And I'm elated for Matty and his organisation. They're very professional, and they've handled things particularly well this year. So congratulations to them.
Indeed so, congratulations. And Steve-O, you made the point just before we came on the air. We had a rookie coach here who won it last year, and another coach in his first year who's picked up the Super League trophy.
And both Australians, I might add. It's but full credit to them. And I just can't be more happier for a club itself and the players. I mean, the crowds itself. It's a new generation there. And to see so many youngsters coming to the game is wonderful, because these youngsters will continue on. They will continue on to be fans, to play the game. There's kids out there 3 and 4, 5 years of age. They don't know what's going on, but they will learn. They'll learn about this game.
You better come in here then, if that's the case.
No, the thing is that they will learn, they'll understand it, because the euphoria that they have witnessed today, they want to be part of it. There's nothing better than being in a winning side. And it just doesn't come about by luck. I mean, I was calling for the Bradford kicking game, which was, again, non-existent in the second half. But you have to be confident, and you have to pat on the back to their coach, Matthew Elliott, and the players in the confidence that they had that extra power and strength in the last 10, 15 minutes. And it paid off for them. Full credit to them.
Yes, full credit to them, full credit to this crowd who have lit up Super League really from the very first day of the competition in 1996. They have set the way for every other Super League club in the business to follow. And yes, Bayek, it is the Bulls. They are the champions of 1997. Now, what's coming up? We have Leeds against London, as now the chase continues for the runners-up spot. Leeds and London, second and third in the table. Sunday night at 6:30. We have the World of Super League Wednesday at 8, when we look back at all these celebrations, and we look forward to the biggest party of the year at Oddsall, Bradford against Paris, next Friday at 7 o'clock. So, will Bradford stay undefeated as Sean McRae waves this trophy bye-bye? Bye-bye.